On a glorious journey to great academic heights, you need a university that will guarantee hopes of employment without sweltering in a pool of job hunts. I present to you Ndejje University. We are an Anglican university endowed with 3 state-of-the-art campuses in Luero Bombo, the Graduate School in Rubaga, and the Kampala campus along Balintuma Road behind Mengo Hospital. With well-coordinated learning programs ranging from day, evening, weekend, in-service and e-learning, the globally recognized university offers job market competing courses that will surely light your academic path. Our various undergraduate and graduate programs include Business Administration and Management, Engineering and Survey, Basic Sciences and Information Technology, Education, Environment and Agricultural Sciences, Arts, Health Sciences, and many more. With accreditation by the National Council of Higher Education, we now offer a diploma in clinical medicine and community health. We as well take pride in some courses sponsored by the Higher Education Students Financing Board for a loan scheme that will not get you worried of tuition as you pursue your dream. Come ready for an academic adventure on great facilities of learning. You can visit our website on www.ndejjeuniversity.ac.ug. Ndejje University, the fear of God brings knowledge and wisdom.
This week.
Did you know that women empowerment is defined in several ways? Did you know that parenting is twice the stress, but twice the love, the hug, and the pride? Here I am to bring you the woman of valor, where ladies are proposing that parenting is not a life full of struggles, but a journey for the stronger ones.
For those who are married, let love stay, because once it is disintegrated, the foundation is destroyed.
Catch me every Thursday at 19 hours here at Ndejje University TV with Joanne Peace.
Coming up in Live at 8, Ndejje University launches Guild campaign. Government to build more airfields to boost trade, says President Museveni. And in sports, Uganda keeps AFCON dreams alive with late winner against Tanzania. More to come in Live at 8. My name is ANSLEM OJARU. Thank you for watching Ndejje University TV. This is Live at 8, and here are the news in details. Ndejje University Guild Presidency and Chairperson Aspirants Campaign kicks off at the university's Kampala campus in Mengo, with different candidates contesting for different guild positions. However, students are cautioned against campaigning during lectures, putting posters on the university building and campaigning at night in the halls of residence. Sarah Chirabo with more of the story.
After the nominations, which happened on 27th March 2023 at the university's main campus in Luweero, the Vice Chairperson Electoral Commission announced the open-air campaign where aspirants will be able to share their manifestos to the entire students' body.
Yesterday, but one, we had our nominations, and some candidates were able to go through. For example, for Guild President, we have Aswa Stephen Thomas and Okoth Phillips. Those are the people contesting. Those are the people who qualified to come as Guild Presidents. For Vice Guild Presidents, we have Wambale Joab, Kamukama Oscar, Tusime Aston. There are 3 on Vice Guild President. Yeah, basically those are the main posts we are going to consider. Then about today, we are going to have our open-air campaigns, like I said, at the school temporary structure. In these open-air campaigns, we shall give these candidates to talk about themselves. We shall give them a chance to talk about their manifestos, what they are going to do, and all things like that. Besides that, we shall also go ahead and give the students chance to ask the candidates their questions. You find that someone has a question to ask.
Ndejje University Electoral Commission Office therefore informed the students to respect university property while campaigning, hence giving out some guidelines to be followed.
As they are campaigning, of course there shall be some guidelines to follow. As the EC team, in cooperation with the administration, depending on the matter of fact that there was renovation of buildings, we are not allowing posters on school structures. We therefore advise candidates to go ahead and use boxes where they can get a box, put their posters and hang around the school premises. But school structures are out of bounds for posters and banners. For banners it might be okay, but something which sticks on the wall, specifically on the wall, and it brings problem removing it, we are not allowing that. Another rule, we shall be respecting lectures. There will be no campaigning in lectures. Our main aim here is to study, so we shall have to give these lectures good time. We shall not intervene with the lectures. And then another thing I can talk about, there will be no campaigns at night. That is basically for main campus students.
Students also expressed their happiness for being part of the campaigns and hoping their candidates to win the race. Other students not to win the race. Other students not to win.
Are willing to come and join us. I'm so happy for the voters. Please come and witness Aswa. Vote for Aswa. Is good, is capable, is willing to serve us.
People are willing to be part in this. So the vibe, people are willing to support their candidates. They are willing. Actually, you're going to see the air campaign today. People are officially campaigning today. That's why we're saying air campaign. The vibe is good. Students are very happy about this, and they're going to take part in this. Yeah, I call all the supporters to take part into this till the voting date. I think it is 2 weeks from now. So we have been given 2 weeks for the campaigns. Then when the 2 weeks collapse, we are going to have the voting of our candidates. I call upon the students to take part in this because we really need our leaders at Ndejje University to make a...
Sarah Chirabo, live at 8.
As Christians near the end of the Lent period, they are called on to continue living the life they have embraced during the fasting period. Let's take a look.
With an encourager as we enter our 5th week in Lent. Remember, on Sunday we are celebrating the end of our 40-day fast. It ends with a bang. And this is the triumphant entry of Jesus Christ when we see victory come. But this victory, remember always that it is one that is bought with blood, and the blood and body of the Son of God. It is not about the blood of animals. It's not about the blood of birds. It's not about the sacrifices given in, but one, the only one sacrifice given in once and for all, and that is Jesus Christ. Therefore, as we come into this Wednesday in the season of Lent, let me tell you, it is the last Wednesday in the season. It is when you come to the last point. I can see athletes running, and it is at the moment that they reach the break line, the victory line, that they look back and say, yes, the Lord has done great things for us. When they see there are others still struggling, and for them they have reached, they do an evaluation. That is when the stopwatch is pressed, and then they say, you have run for 30 minutes. You have run for 3 minutes, 0.77. And then you are declared a winner. It's not about as we are along the way that we become winners, but we become winners all the way to the last point. Therefore, as we are in this last week, I want to encourage you not to lose focus of the purpose of fasting and of the purpose of prayer. I told you previously that this season is a season of reflection. It's a season of renewal. It is a season of recommitment. But it's also a season when we grow from one level to another, when we are revived. Therefore, I have a word for you that is brief here. Paul is writing to the Ephesians, and he has an encouragement that I want to give you today. Chapter 4 of the book of Ephesians, verse 17 and 19. I'll read this. In the Lord's name, then I warn you, do not continue to live like the heathen, whose thoughts, mark the word thoughts, are worthless, and whose minds are in the dark. Thoughts and then mind are in the dark. They have no part in the life that God gives. Wow. For they are completely ignorant and stubborn. They have lost all feeling of shame. They give themselves over to vice and do all sorts of indecent things without restraint. Praise the Lord. Paul is reminding us that as we live in this life, there are other people that also live in this life. But what kind of people are these? The heathen. Those who do not know God. What does he say about them? Their thoughts are worthless. Their minds are in the dark. But the consequence is most dangerous. The consequence is that they don't have a part in the life that God gives. Praise the Lord. This is my message to you, that while you have lived through this time, it does not mean after this whole period you give up and go back to the life of heathenness. Don't go back, brother. Why? Because your thoughts will always be considered worthless. Please, please, don't give up. Continue fasting and praying. May God bless you.
President Museveni met with the former Chancellor of Australia, His Excellence Alfred Gusenbauer, at State House in Ndejje. His Excellence was leading a very powerful delegation of investors interested in investing in the different sectors of agriculture, housing and construction, affordable solutions, information and technology, forestry, environment and architecture. Let's have more on that story. While discussing investment opportunities, the former Chancellor thanked President Museveni for the warm welcome accorded to them and hoped that the economic ties between the two countries will deepen as Australian investors have expressed their interest in investing in various sectors of Uganda's economy. While talking about housing, President Museveni informed his guests that Uganda needs a big number of institutional houses for teachers, medical personnel, police and industrial workers, among others. He therefore recommended the company dealing in housing to link up with the national enterprises of Uganda's People Defence Forces and that of the National Housing to explore ways and means of partnering in the construction of housing. President Museveni asked the Australian investors to interest themselves in the technology and equipment for Ugandan manufacturers, especially in processing of coffee, beef, leather, fruits, milk, fish, minerals and forest products. He added that bamboo trees for the production of paper will be included in the forest sector. On the conservation of wetlands, President Museveni emphasized the need to get people out of swamps because of the immense damage they are inflicting on the wetlands. The president explained that wetlands are very crucial in distilling of water bodies that flow to the lake. He further added that wetlands, through transpiration of the vapor that is thrown into the atmosphere, make rain that accounts for 40%. On reforestation, Mr. Museveni noted that the main challenge is to end encroachment as trees easily grow. He cited the pine trees that take only 7 years to mature in Uganda, unlike in Sweden where it takes the same tree 120 years to mature. He, however, noted that the project would do very well on bare hills where you can plant, harvest and replant. Commenting on architecture, President Museveni noted that a lot of construction is going on in the country, citing industrial parks. He advised Australian investors to meet local architects as well as those in the Ministry of Housing for further networking and partnering. The meeting was also attended by the Consul General of Uganda in Australia, Miss Olivia Mugabe, who is also the representative of Uganda Investment Authority in Australia. ANSLEM OJARU, live at 8.
This week,
I spray right after the planter because I'm not working my soil. I'm using no-till. So all this stuff which is lying here, sometimes when we plant, there is a new wheat which is already germinated. So I apply a Roundup.
This week,
it's more important if we can work strategically to grow the game, which they have done well. They have worked very well with the Chinese embassy in growing the game of football. They have managed to establish a league.
We are very grateful to all the participating players, the various clubs, and all the managers who have supported the athletes.
The men's individual category was won by Thomas Keddy of Stroke Woodball Club with 97 points, while Sophie Namudu won the women's individual club with 66 points.
To win, it has been really patience. It has been God with us. And then I think it has been our persistence to do it.
President Museveni continues to market Uganda as the best tourism and trade destination in the world for investors and travelers in general who want to experience the uniqueness and diversity of the Pearl of Africa. Let's have more of that story.
The President addressed trade representatives at the annual Trade Representative Forum at State House Entebbe, organized by the Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development. According to the chairman of the Uganda Tourism Board, Daudi Migereko, prior to COVID-19, tourism was Uganda's #1 foreign exchange earner.
What we are missing out on is implementation. I heard the minister talk about urgency. Mr. Chairman, can you whip, can anyone whip us to appreciate the fact that we have already lost time with everything and we must pursue everything with urgency? Because that's what is missing.
President Museveni tipped the gathering about the many ways of making money in Uganda, especially if one is focused on adding value to the existing raw materials like coffee, milk, cotton, tea, tobacco, fruits, beef, oilseeds, cocoa, bananas, leather, cassava, sugar, among others.
Investors whom we try to encourage to come to Uganda, one has got to answer the question, how can I make money in Uganda? What our government has done, as you hear, we have woken our people up to go into the money market for the money production for the first time. Coffee, I think we are now producing, somebody was telling me that we may have achieved 12 million bags of coffee production from 2 million bags. The battle there is to add value to the coffee by processing. I have given you the figure. So therefore, I want to report to the meeting that we are succeeding in moving our people into producing for the market, in addition to producing for home consumption.
He said that the now growing population of Uganda, which will be 100 million people in the next 30 years, up from the current 43 million, is an opportunity for growth.
Now, with a bigger population, competition for economic space increases. You can no longer afford to be laid back, because more people now need access to resources. And secondly, education. Those people, like the people of the coffee, that coffee group, these are all young people who have got modern education. So therefore, you don't have to panic. The reasons why exports are not so much is because the population had not woken up to understand the importance of exports. But nobody can compete with us once the people wake up.
According to the chairman of the Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development, Audrey Krawogo, the meeting focused on strengthening coordination in order to move faster.
And therefore, we have learned that, one, if we are not coordinated, if we don't coordinate, we don't have a body to whip our institutions to deliver these targets, where we run around, our trade reps will get us orders that we won't be able to fulfill them. So coordination is a lesson we have learned. And that's why we brought these trade reps, so they can see what we're trying to do, to put everyone in one circle and say, all hands on the deck. We can't move unless we coordinate. Number two,
General Edward Katumba Wamala